Hola y bienvenidos a Deuces Wild. We are back, motherfuckers. Woo!
I can tell you one thing. I can tell you one thing. What a tale of two freaking cities. We have Lake Tahoe, California, where you have 50 feet of snow, and you have Prairieville, Louisiana, where we are 85 degrees, ladies and gentlemen.
85 degrees. And you guys just went through a gnarly thunderstorms and tornadoes and all kinds of shit coming your way, right?
That's just normal shit around here. You know what I mean? You know, you get a few little tornadoes, and it beats up everybody's trailer park. But if you're in a regular house, you're cool.
Oh my goodness, dude! I don't even know where to start. I came on 5-10 minutes ago. We started bullshitting. I feel like we haven't caught up forever. You sent me one of the most grotesque pictures I've ever seen in my fucking life. I threw up in my mouth of your hip, dude. Like, I don't even this thing that I need to share with the audience, Thrill, is like, explain to me, because this was your big off season,
right?
I'd say team Get Right here. What
the
fuck is this, man?
All right, so that is the ball that goes into the socket of your hip, and those little white spots in the middle there, that's where it was rubbing bone on bone. And then the bottom part is a part that was missing. And I asked the doctor, I said, where the hell did the part that was missing go? And he says, I have no idea. He said, I couldn't find it when I went in there for surgery. So he said, the only thing that I can think of is your body absorbed it. And I was like, oh, that's freaking great news. I mean, my body's absorbing shit other than Jack Daniels.
Dude, it brings me to the point of the show that is brand new. That is kind of like a we made it moment, Thrill, because Deuces Wild is sponsored by 818 Tequila.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Go out and get you a bottle of the No Filter Network Deuces Wild Tequila only.
Dude, we need a special edition Deuces Wild. Our guy Dean could hook it up. I'd have all the confidence in the world. His kids are baseball players. That's how we met. And essentially, it's like, yo, dude, I mean, love what you guys are doing with No Filter. We love what we're doing on No Filter. And he had this tequila company that's actually, believe it or not, Thrill, it's associated with the Kardashians. So this is
really?
the part. Yeah, that's where the 818 comes from. And basically, Dean's like, hey, the bottom line is this: when it comes to this tequila, it's fucking fantastic. And I said, Dean, we're all in. And so 818, an official sponsor of No Filter Network and Deuces Wild. Dude, so tell me, so how the hip, like, explain that whole process.
So they basically, the first time I had hip surgery was on my left hip. They went in kind of the butt and they moved the muscle out the way and they go in there and they do their thing. This time, since technology's come along, that's called posterior. This is called anterior. They come in the front and they come kind of right down the middle of your leg, like right here. I got a big old scar, and they basically go in there and do what they need to do, and you can start up rehab a lot quicker. I was on a walker. I sent you a video, Mike. I sent Mike a video. I was on a walker for about 4 days. I was on a cane for about 3 or 4 days. And then after that, I said, fuck it. And so I've been walking around, doing physical therapy 3 times a week. I'm ready to rock. Needless to say, I'm a little ginger in certain positions. I can't kind of, squat down and sit on my ass and shit like that on the ground. But other than that, I'm ready. I'm rolling right along, and it'll be getting stronger and stronger every day.
How quickly are you going to be able to swing a baseball bat?
I already swung a baseball bat. I checked that one out the other day.
Come on.
Swear to God, I'll send y'all a video here pretty soon.
Yeah, because we're going to have to get back after it. I was going over some Deuces Wild videos earlier today.
Yeah.
To use as a promo for tonight's show and for upcoming shows and this and that. The funny thing is I didn't even fucking end up posting one because the snow was coming down so hard here that I decided that I needed to get outside and shoot this other video because I got a new toy, man. I want to show you it. I think you're the type of guy that would greatly appreciate it. And here we go. This was today.
Oh God, there he is again, ladies and gentlemen. Big
Bro.
Battleborn Mike sent me about 3 or 4 pictures of you in the freaking snow, 5 degrees, and you're out there like that. You're a psycho, dude. You're a psycho.
So look what's in my hand.
A flamethrower. That's what you need.
That's what I got.
What you need.
Oh, it's fucking so badass, dude. Watch the way it melts the snow. I'll rip through it, but watch this stuff like snow, ice, whatever. I mean, and I'm talking like 4, 5, 6 inches of ice is thick. And this thing burns right through it.
You know what else that's great for? Because we do it down here a lot, is when you decide to fire up the old fire pit or whatever, or even the barbecue pit with charcoal, you throw that son of a gun on it, whoa, that big bastard's up and running.
Dude, you know what's funny is I don't think I've ever seen a flamethrower in my entire life. Yet when I put that up on the screen for you, like immediately, oh, a flamethrower.
Flamethrower. I'm like, welcome to Redneck Central. You have bought in. You have bought in. Look at you, man. You went from the freaking flat bill skater board boy to Redneck Central. You're now wanting to burn shit. You're moving right along in the right direction.
Well, hey, we got these trucker hats too now that are kind of more your speed, man.
Hey, speaking of which, get off topic just a little bit because you turn around, you got the yellow on, right? So I happened to get in touch today. I made a phone call to one of my partners. He's the GM of the Montgomery team up there in Montgomery, Alabama. Yeah. And freaking Bananas were just up there, and Petey was there and acting a fool, and they were drinking down the right field line after the game. And I told him, I said, I'm going on the show with Eric Burns. Oh, we miss Burnsy. We wish Burnsy was here, all that sort of stuff. But they enjoyed having the Bananas there, dude.
Yeah, dude, I went to Montgomery last year. It was awesome. And I know what you're talking about on the right field line because that's where their big restaurant / bar patio area is, and had so much fun, dude.
Yeah.
I almost like, before we get in, and we're going to get into the Giants and the preseason and the over-under and the win totals and all this other stuff, but a little catching up here. So this is a question for you because I've found myself where the season started for the Bananas, and there was a certain amount of dates that I had targeted that I was going to do. And let's just throw out monetary compensation right now. Like, just to say it's obsolete, right? Because it's just not driving my decision one way or another. But here I was, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, well, I could do this date, and 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 here and here and here. And one of the dates I targeted was actually coming up this weekend in Arizona. They're in Scottsdale, and they play in Scottsdale, then they play in Peoria. But Thrill, I have 3 kids that are all ski racing this weekend. And we're all 3 at different mountains. One's at North Star, one's at Alpine, one's at Squaw. And I'm looking at it, and I'm just like, dude, I love the circus. I want to be a part of the circus. Trust me, I want to be a part of Banana Land. And dude, the broadcasting role that I'd be doing, I'd be literally for like whether it's pinch hitting or pinch running, the broadcasting thing along with any sort of coaching stuff. Like, I'm ready to get back in the mix. But maybe you would relate to this, bro. Like, family takes priority, and it's not even close. And it's just like, I haven't been able to do shit. And I feel bad a little bit, but I'm sorry. It's that's where my life is right now.
Hey, look, you are getting up to the age now. You know, I mean, we've been in the sun, brother. We've been there. We've been basking in that shit. You know, now it's time to turn it over there to the next generation. And just let me tell you this right now, all right? Because it's happened to me. It's happened to everybody in the chat room right now, man. If you went to the bananas and let's say one of your kids set the freaking record on the slopes going down the fastest in the world and you weren't there to see it, you'd be kicking yourself.
100%.
And so, man, for you being the father and staying the father end of things, man, that's a great choice right there.
I just feel like the bananas aren't going anywhere. Right. And I, as much as it pains me, my kids are, and their life's evolving, and the banana ball thing will be there. And as a matter of fact, I can't wait to watch expansion. And you and I could talk about this later, but ultimately, this is going to be a league, and it's going to be something that I know. I'm going to be involved with it. I'd love to have you involved with it with me. This is something where we're targeting some cities around the country right now.
Yeah, I get it.
Could support this, and I look forward to it. That gets me excited more about the bananas than anything.
Yeah, and then not only that too. I mean, everybody in the audience knows because they know me and you. But I mean, with the rule changes and the fiasco that is the commissioner's office and all that, this sport is really kind of getting screwed up. And so, to go out there and see the bananas running around acting stupid and dancing and the flames on the bat and all that. Hey, look, man, they chunking all the fun back into shit because I can tell you one thing. This shit that I've been watching for the last month, I want to puke right now with these rule changes and all that sort of stuff. Oh God, when I go see some of these minor league teams, I'm just gonna be shaking my head at the shit that's gonna happen.
So talk to me about the rule changes and what have you noticed and what do you like and what do you not like?
All right, so look, I get, I get they're wanting to do to speed up. They've been wanting to do that for 20 fucking years. All right, so they put the shot clock on everybody, but why screw with the bases? I don't get that. I have no idea what they're doing. They said they want to make the stolen base a part of baseball and all that sort of stuff. Well, they're limiting throwovers. Okay, all right, so. All right, if I got a guy that wants to run, I want to throw over there and keep him close. That's first off. They're limiting the shift now. If you got a guy that can't hit the ball to left field, well, then why the shit am I going to play anybody in left field? I'm trying to beat you. I'm trying to kick your ass. I'm going to put everybody over there in right field and say, come get me, big boy, because you can't do it. And that's what, it's his freaking give everybody a participation trophy mentality. No, he can't hit it to left field, but we got to play him straight up. That's bullshit. I'm out here to kick your ass.
So through last weekend, our Let Them Play team was in Arizona, and we had two kids on the mound, one that was throwing 72 to 75, and then the other kid was like 75 to 78. We literally went 5-man infield, and then we took our left fielder and center fielder. We took the two outfielders and we put them to the opposite side. These kids weren't getting around on it.
Hey, sorry, hang with them,
bro. The coach is screaming in the box, and we've done this. And Crudelli, who I've got to imagine is somewhere on this stream, but Crudelli has seen us play rover before, so we pulled the center fielder in, but not necessarily as an infielder, this and that. When you have guys that are that dominant against competition that's not the top national level, the top national level guys will hit this, no problem. We went to Houston and we faced it, and they can hit that no problem. But a little bit like a local majors team, or like it's just not. It's not. They're overmatched, man. They haven't seen it before. Yeah. It's too much for them. Yeah. And so on that note, we took our shift to an absolute extreme. So with Major League Baseball, like the shift's gone. That's going to open up a fuck ton of holes for left-handed pull hitters.
Yep.
Those are the ones that really got hurt by it, correct?
You're right. And it's going to reward, and this is where I go back to, it's going to reward very average hitters because they can't play guys over there no more. I mean, you can start naming names. I mean, you can go down through the list and name names about guys, that had shifts put on them, and now they're going to be much. They're going to have better statistics than they should because you're not allowed to beat them no more. You give them a participation trophy. All right. Another thing too, the guys in the chat room even mentioned it, and I loved it too. Was the World Baseball Classic. Dude, these guys got the shit after it, man. And I mean, I watched.
How good was that?
Oh man, it was awesome. I don't know why, but it just so happened that every time Trey turned it on TV, Venezuela was on. Dude, they played the shit out of it for the first 4 games, Venezuela. And then, USA caught fire. Japan was just freaking dominant the whole time. And I saw some guys on the Japan team that I'm like, oh shit, the Giants need about 3 of them, and I was happy to see, the talent kind of spread out. I mean, it was actually really fun to watch. And then going back, like the guys were saying, in the chat room, going back and seeing the old school rules and all that, I'm like, yeah, baseball again, instead of this bullshit we got to watch.
So
here's one. Wait, while I'm on my freaking rant, here's one. Okay, so check this one out. Today, well, no, not today, yesterday, whenever the fuck Romo pitched, all right? Awesome deal for him. Awesome deal. Now we're done with spring training. Giants have 2 days off. 2 days off before they start up the regular season. Never happened before. Then you start up the season in New York. You're a NL West Coast team, and you start up AL East in New York on a Thursday. What the shit's going on? Then you have an off day on Friday night in New York. What the fuck is happening? How do you do that if you're scheduling a baseball team? How do you do a Friday night off in New York? You're the only game in town. Come on.
Yeah, I've said that for years. I never understood it when I was at MLB Network. I don't understand it now. I think it's to get everybody on some sort of algorithm schedule that they have planned. I want to go back for a second, though, and talk about the WBC, because a little bit different than you. I'm into a lot of the rule changes. Like I like the base.
I know you are, because you're fucking weird.
I like the base being bigger. I need more stolen bases. If they want to, dude, Thrill, think about this though. How the fuck do you think Vince Coleman and Willie McGee and all those motherfuckers and Ricky stole 100 bases a year? You know exactly how. Nobody was fucking slide stepping.
No.
Right? So everyone was 1-3, 1-4, 1-5 to the plate.
Yeah, but then when they started slide stepping, them fuckers would still steal it,
Exactly. But the stolen base is basically gone. So if you could bring that back, I'm all in, and I love it. The pitch clock thing.
Okay, all right, I get that. All right, you want to bring the stolen base back. All right, you don't fuck with the bag. You don't fuck with the size of the bag. Now, the one rule change that is going to make a difference is the throwovers. You can only throw over twice. That kind of shit, so guys are going to be leaning and trying to get these unbelievable jumps. But you don't screw with the size of the bag, because now you got guys covering the bag. They've been covering the same size bag their whole life, and now they got these fucking pancakes out there. We're going to have guys that are going to break fucking ankles and shit and everything else.
Yeah, I just don't know, man. I don't know. Have you seen enough spring training for it to? I haven't seen enough. I don't know. I don't know enough. I haven't seen enough. I'm really interested to see, as the regular season gets going, how much it actually impacts, because this is the big point, Thrill, is that the bases are fucking shorter. They just made it used to be 90-foot bases, and now it's 89 feet and 6 inches or something, right? Like
now check this one out. Yeah. So now, okay. So exactly what you said. All right, so they made the bigger bases, so they shortened up the baseline, okay? So now you're trying to speed up the game with these stupid-ass pitch clocks, but now we're going to slow it down because you're going to have fucking more replays. There's going to be so many bang-bang plays at first base or second base or third base or home plate. You know, I mean, so whenever you make a rule change, it's going to affect something the other way too. So, you know, and then here's another thing. Check this one out. I don't know if you guys ever paid attention to this. They got into the playoffs last year, and guess what? They threw the freaking rule changes out the window. They went back to regular baseball. Because why? They wanted the more revenue from the more commercials. That one game that went 18 innings, they were sitting there jerking off. They were loving life on that one.
Dude, I would say this, and this is the biggest defendant of all of your points, that you shouldn't fuck with the game. And it's called the WBC.
Boom.
The greatest baseball I've watched in fucking years.
Dude, I was so fired up, you know, and to come down to that last game against USA and Japan, dude, that was a fucking baseball game.
Oh, so
that was
good.
a legit
so good
baseball game. And the only stat that mattered in that whole game, was USA was 0 for 8 with runners in scoring position. The only stat that mattered. They get one base hit right there, it's a different ball game.
So, dude, as far as the Giants this season,
come on, give it to me.
What are we looking at? Their win total, I want to give you a gauge here. So this is where they're supposed to finish, is 81.5. I got a good buddy of mine. I say good buddy, but I just met him at Super Bowl Radio Row when we were there, and this guy's a professional gambler. And he sends me his picks that he sends out, like people pay for him every day, but he sends me his picks. And the guy's a fucking winner. So he sent 2 picks today for MLB futures bets. One of them was the San Diego Padres under 93.5 wins. The other pick was the San Francisco Giants over 81.5 wins. Your thoughts on this?
Oh, wow.
Will they be a 500 team?
You know what? If they stay healthy, all right. Here's the thing: they got pretty decent starting pitching if they stay healthy. I mean, look at them. They got Webb, Cobb, DeSclafani, Stripling, Manea. I know I'm missing somebody in there, 1 or 2 others, but anyway, they got pretty decent starting pitching.
That's a decent staff.
Yeah, they've added a little bit to the bullpen, but it's going to be, dude, who can hit it and who can catch it, and you know, because you're going to be facing, you know, that Dodger staff. You know, the Padres are good over there, and man, I don't know. So was he saying that 81.5 is his like baseline? He's like drawn.
So Vegas is 81.5 wins, and so you go over or under, right? So if the Giants go 162, so they would have to go over 500. So they would have to have 82 wins in order to win that bet. I'm
saying if they stay healthy, they're going to be over 82. If they're banged up, I can't see it.
Interesting. So you did not go out to Scottsdale this year?
No,
because
I've been rehabbing the hip. I had surgery on February 22nd, and I had already told them ahead of time I wasn't going to make it. So I'm getting ready. I'm going to, let's see, I'm going to be in San Francisco end of May. I'm going to be in Richmond middle of May. I'll be, let's see, I want to see another minor league team in June. I'll be end of July, first part of August, end of August. So I'll be all over the place. Oh, and end of August, which is August 27th. I think that's a Sunday. The great Mike Murphy is getting his plaque put on the Wall of Fame for 65 years of service with the team.
I can't believe 65 years he's been there. And he's still there, isn't he?
Yeah, he's still there, but then they kind of forced his ass to retire, and some douchebag in the clubhouse put some tweet out about it before he even talked to the powers to be. So it kind of forced the Giants' hand. The Giants were a little on the miffed side about that.
Jeez. Well, was it like a clubhouse attendant that said something?
Yeah, it was a clubhouse attendant, and he thinks he's a traveling secretary. He's a piece of shit. So I told Murph, because I had talked to Murph the day before, and he said, "Well, I'm gonna go meet with Larry Bear and see about what my role is gonna be this year." And then that tweet hit, and I called him up the next day, and I'm like, "Murph, did you know anything about it?" He goes, "No, I didn't know anything about it." And he said, "I don't think the Giants knew anything about it." I said, "Well, if you want, I'll jump on an airplane right now and go kick his ass for you." He goes, "No, no, 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 don't do that." I said, 65 years of service and you got some douchebag telling you to retire. That ain't right.
Yeah. So what is going to be his role for this year?
He's probably retired. One of the honest guy's truth.
Like legit, just done.
Legit.
Done
See
paying
you.
him?
Bye. So I already told him every time I come in, I'm taking him to lunch. So
That's fucking bullshit, man.
it is bullshit. 65 years of service. And you mean to tell me the Giants can't put together a big, huge press release and a big, huge send off and all that? Some douche, turns a freaking tweet or whatever. It's like, come on, man. That's where the game's changed, man. Somebody needs to fucking wear one. That's what happens. Nobody's wearing one. Everybody's too nice. Somebody needs to take one upside the fucking jaw every now and then.
Like Jose Akendo.
Bingo.
Oh!
That's what I'm talking about. Get the hell out of the Drill's way. We're coming in hot. Coming in hot.
And fuck Ozzie Smith, too.
You know it. Cheap shot artist. Bastard.
All right, let's do this. I want to play. I want to have some fun with you because the Giants are the main topic of conversation whenever we have you on.
Okay, all right, wait, and then here's the thrill quote of the day. I'm giving this one to Big Battleborn Mike because he's seen me in action. When you're sore, pour some more.
That is
there. You go.
And it's 8-1 tequila. Woo! Look at Battleborn Mike. Tequila Reposado.
There you go.
More. That's funny because I'm ready for another one myself. So
yes, you do.
I want to walk you through the Giants depth chart.
All right, go ahead on.
I want you to share just a couple sentences about each guy and what we know and maybe what we don't know, because I'm looking at this team, Thrill. They're not that fucking bad.
But, they need to stay on the field. I mean, look, I mean, we signed Haniger. He's down. Austin Slater's pulling his normal I'm hurt all the time move. But we're going to start the year with some guys that, have played before. And, you keep your fingers crossed. Like I said, everybody stays healthy and they kind of do a decent job. So fire away. Who you want to talk about?
Let's go down the starting rotation. So Logan Webb.
All right, Logan Webb. Sinker, changeup, slider, curve. He needs to have command of his sinker. He has command of his sinker. He's going to be a rough go of it. If you get him in the 2-1, 3-1 counts, where you can't anticipate what's coming, you got the ball in your court.
Is he an ace?
Yes. He's got the makeup. He's got the makeup and he's got the conios. So that's good.
I like hearing that. I look at Logan Webb. If he's your number 2, we're doing shit. But he's not. He's their ace. He's their number 1, right?
Yeah.
So okay.
Put it this way. He wants the ball.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah, and that's what I love about him. So,
all right, Alex Cobb.
A lot of split fingers. If guys recognize the split fingers and lay off of them and they force him to throw fastballs, he's going to have a little rough go of it. If he's got command of the split finger, and that's what he and I talked about before, if he throws that split finger every now and then for strikes and they can't lay off of it all the time, he's got the makeup to be a above 10 win pitcher. Easy.
Sean Manaea,
don't know anything about him. I've seen him more when he was with the A's than I have with the Giants in spring training. I haven't been able to see him. I know he's got pretty decent stuff. He comes right at you. You probably got a better call on him than I do.
Yeah, I don't know him that well, but he's a. I'd take that guy in my fucking rotation all day, and he's sitting there right in the 3 spot, right where he should be. He's not going to be somebody that I'm going to rely on 1-2, but on any given night, he has legit shit. I mean, real big crossfire. He's from Indiana too. He's from Terre Haute, Indiana. I know that because I was working for MLB Network with Greg Amsinger, who is from Terre Haute, Indiana himself, which is a really fucking small town, man. And Mania and him had a little love fest over their hometown, as they should have. It's awesome dude. He's also friends with Brian Kane, who's a mental performance guy that I know, and all the reports about Mania, he's great. Now, Ross Stripling is in the 4 spot. John Gall, who's my cousin Thrill, he's a former Olympian, Pac-12 all-time hits leader, got a little bit of time in the big leagues with the Cardinals. He said he went to the game last night, and Ross Stripling got fucking bombed.
Yeah.
We've seen him with the Dodgers, right?
Yeah, I mean, he threw 5 innings yesterday. He gave up 11 hits, 9 earnings.
Oh shit!
So he got hammered yesterday. When I saw him kind of with the Dodgers, and this is kind of when I saw we signed him during the offseason, I was like, oh yeah, because when he was with the Dodgers, I liked him. I liked him a lot.
He dealt against us, right? He threw that no-hitter, and then they pulled him.
He dealt like crazy against us. And I'm like, oh yeah, we might have got a little diamond in the rough. And he's been kind of hit and miss in spring training. So I don't know. We'll see.
I don't take spring training too serious. It's probably a little more disconcerting because they were in San Francisco last night, and it's not like we were in Scottsdale Stadium. Although Scottsdale Stadium, of all the stadiums, that's still probably the biggest pitcher's park in the Cactus League.
Yeah, you're right.
All right. Alex Wood is back in the 5th spot for the San Francisco Giants.
Yeah, and he might do really well if they drop him down in the rotation like that, because he's a strike thrower, left-handed, keeps guys off balance, a little sneaky, and he's a veteran, so he knows how to wiggle his way kind of late into the game, give you 5 or 6. So he's another guy. You stay healthy, he might be a little diamond in the rough as well.
Okay.
And then wait, that's the guy I'm missing. The guy I'm missing is DeSclafani. All right. So this guy, I have seen him to where I'm like, oh my God, it's lights out. And then I've seen him to where it's like, oh, Jesus Christ, find a corner one time.
Yeah.
And so, if he can get that consistency, dude, he's got the shit to be a 15, 18 game winner. Him.
Okay. The relief corps is we can start where we want. Let's just start here. Taylor Rogers. Is that Tyler Rogers' brother?
Tyler Rogers' brother. We got him from the Twins or wherever it was. And left-handed reliever. He was actually a closer over there, and he's actually has closed out a few games so far in spring training. And let's see, what's he got? He's he's only got 8 innings pitched, but he's got 14 punch outs and he's got a 1 ERA.
Oh fuck.
That's in spring training.
John Brebbia.
All right. For my version to you guys, he's the guy in the bullpen you want to face. You want to face him. So he better come with his command and his control.
AWR? You know AWR, right?
Yeah, but I'm telling you right now.
Average white right-hander?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is when he doesn't have his shit, he's the guy that you run to the bat rack to face.
I love how you look at these guys from a hitter's perspective, as you should. Yeah. Okay. Tyler Rogers.
I love Tyler Rogers when he's down in the zone when he tries to do stupid shit up in the zone, throw high cutters and shit like that, I don't like him. I don't like him at all. Matter of fact, those are, if you ever notice, those are all the balls that he gets hit hard on. When he's throwing that sinker for strikes, it's just ground ball central, and it's out after out after out.
I saw a video today of his slider, and it was like a rising slider that whoever the catcher was, he fucking missed it by 3 feet.
Right.
And it just flew over his head. He like jumps up in the end. And the video was trying to say, like, look how nasty this fucking slider is. I'm like, is that really nasty? No, nasty is Bing Young Kim when he threw the shit from down here, and it started behind me, and it ended up fucking like 6 inches off the black on the outside. That was fucking nasty.
That's nasty,
That looked like a spin ball that just fucking went to the backstop, and the catcher butchered it.
All right, so here is, from a hitter's standpoint, facing a guy like Tyler Rogers. All right, so the ball comes in and goes down. All right, so you're constantly hitting something moving down. Unless you catch it absolutely perfect, you're gonna beat it in the ground. It's gonna be down. All right, so now when he throws that slider and it kind of stays on the same plane or even comes up, he's working you right into the swing path to get the ball up in the air. We don't want the ball up in the air for him. We want the ball on the ground. That's what his strength is. And why they keep calling the freaking stupid ass 3 up, I don't know why. You ought to call 1 down.
1 down. That's the strength.
There it is. Hey, look, there's 1,000 Japanese pitchers over there that live and die with freaking sinkers from down there, and they make a lot of people look stupid.
I don't want to get sidetracked here, but I loved your comment earlier in the show when you talked about how spread out and diverse the talent was amongst the countries.
Yeah.
Japan, obviously, you had Otani, but they had that guy Yoshida who was going to go play for the Red Sox. What a fucking stud, right?
Dude, he's a stud, but then check out the freaking third baseman. He's 23 years old. He's a 2-time MVP over there. What? How about that guy?
Dude, did you see the guy that was throwing 102?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck? This is the best baseball player in the world that nobody knows about. He was sitting at 102.
I'm like, who's this guy? We've never heard of this guy.
Never heard of him. He's 21.
I'm telling you what, Japan, for as long as I've been following them, and I've been following them, since I played against them in college, they always have one guy, and they've been coming along a little bit better as far as pitching goes, but they've always had one guy as far as the hitters go that they could play over here no problems and be an impact player. You see that guy Yoshida, the guy who's on third base, I think his name's Moriyama or something like that. That freaking dude can play. Yoshida can play any day of the week. We know what Otani can do. So, I mean, you see these countries that you hear about them, but until you see them in person, you're like, whoa, dude, whoa.
So, by the way, we got the chat open. Duncan Dad. Oh, Tara, my wife's there. Thank you.
Miss Television came in. Look at you.
Yes. Stephen Luker, Rodolfo. I mean, geez, Coach Cheeks is in here. Linda. Good evening to you.
We got everybody.
Mike, Pete, Crudelli.
Rodolfo, everybody.
We got a B Walker 13. We got a Jason Donnelly. Jason, what's up, dude?
Hey, you got Appo tacos for dinner tonight, big boy.
You're not kidding, man. Dude, I went and bought some bison earlier today.
Oh, nice.
You guys don't have any bison out there in Louisiana, do you?
Bison don't hang out in the South. All right. Although I have had plenty of bison, and it is delicious.
I love the fact that the chat is fiery. So back to the Japanese guy real quick, and then we'll continue with the San Francisco Giants depth chart. But the dude that was throwing 102 with the nasty ass split and slider and everything else, dude, he went. I was looking up his stat. I'm like, who the fuck is this guy, right? Because I've never heard of him before. He's not signed with a major league team. Whatever team he's with in Japan. Last year, as a 20-year-old, he threw a perfect game and then backed up that perfect game with 8 more perfect innings. So he threw. Yeah, Jesus Cristo was involved in it. You've got to believe that. Yes. So
Jesus.
Yes. How
That's
about that,
unbelievable
man?
right there.
Hey, dude, I'm looking at that. That guy needs to be in the big leagues. Why the fuck is he not in the big leagues?
Thank you. How can somebody not go get him?
Another thought, and you're very much a traditionalist, purist, everything else. So I'd be interested to hear your take on this. What if that was the best baseball I've ever watched. I don't remember as a fan like being that into it. And seeing that type of talent and seeing the pride and seeing the Italians and seeing the Australians, like whatever. What are your thoughts on potentially, I don't want to say making that a league, but more people watched the WBC final than anybody's ever watched a baseball game.
All right, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. All right, I get it. I get what you're trying to say. All right. WBC is what, every 4 years?
Yeah.
Okay. So now you're basically loaning your players to their country, all that sort of stuff. Okay. Then you got the stupid shenanigans where you got the guy out on the mound, blows out a knee. Then you got somebody else got hurt from the Mets.
Yep.
And I mean, so
that was Edwin Diaz. Edwin Diaz blew out his knee on a celebration.
Oh, whatever it was. But
and then Jose Altuve broke.
Altuve gets whacked in the hand, and you're talking about the centerpiece of Houston's freaking, offense. And so you have to look at it from the MLB side of things, which is, hey, dude, I'm giving this freaking guy a lot of money to play for me, not to go play for his country and get freaking whacked on the hand. Now he can't play for me for two months.
Yeah, but Tara's got a really good point here. And I usually don't say that about my wife. She says both of those things could easily happen in a spring training game.
Oh, without a shadow of doubt. Without a shadow of a doubt. How about this one? No shit. You could do this. You could do this with every organization. How about San Francisco Giant Puerto Ricans play San Francisco Giant Dominicans? Or San Francisco Giant Venezuelans play San Francisco Giant Americans. You can do it with every organization. Because, if you look through the organization, you got 260 guys. Yeah. You can make your own WBC.
I get it.
Organization.
I know what you're saying. And so the problem is, if you did actually create a league, is that it would be disproportionate. It would be disproportionate in the fact that the Americans A, B, and C team, and the Dominicans A, and B team. And I'm kind of going off population of the amount of big leaguers, right?
I get you. I get what you're saying.
It's 60%. It's 60% Americans and 40% everything else. But it's probably I'm going to guess like 10% Dominican. I'd say that number's smaller with Venezuela. The number is smaller with Puerto Rico than Venezuela. And then you get to Mexico, it's smaller with them. And then you get to the Asian cultures, whether it's Korea or Japan. Obviously, Japan would be somewhere in that mix. I just think that the reason why there was so much interest is it had that World Cup feel. And I don't like soccer. I don't like soccer. But guess what? Guess where I was when they had the fucking World Cup this winter, and I'm watching this, and I'm glued to my television, and I'm like, I don't even give a shit about either of these countries.
Yeah,
but fuck, man, there's something more to it. Does that make sense?
Definitely something more to it. Hey, somebody that just popped into my brain, and we have talked about this guy before. All right, the San Francisco Giants, and I am 1,000% swearing to God on the Bible they had a chance to get Trey Turner like
fuck.
about 6 years ago. And at the time, they wanted a few minor leaguers. And I'm like, give them up. Get this guy. And now look what he's done. Not only did he do it with the Nationals, not only did he do it with the Dodgers, now look at Team USA, and then he's going to be in that Phillies lineup now. I'm like, God damn it, he should have been a freaking Giant because we didn't have the freaking balls to pull off a trade with 2 or 3 minor leaguers.
Ohtani, there's Trout, there's Aaron Judge, and I swear to you, let's just throw Ohtani out for a second because he's a DH and a pitcher, and he's a fucking anomaly. So there's Aaron Judge, there's Mike Trout, and there's Trey fucking Turner. And I'm stopping there.
I'm loving that.
There's no better position player.
No, because
those are the 3 best.
No, because they are legitimately, and you hear this thrown around a lot, 5-tool players.
Yeah.
Those 3 that you named right there are freaking 5-tool players. But they're 5-tool players in the upper echelon of the 5-tool players. And that's why I said, how you could not go get Trey Turner when he was that cheap back in the day was a bonehead play by the San Francisco Giants.
Mind you, and we're not going to highlight this, but mind you, I love the fact you'll for everybody tuning in right now, you will get this fucking nowhere else because thrilled that you work for the Giants.
Yeah. I was in on the conversations when they were trying to trade for him. I'm like, trade that guy now. Trade them all. Matter of fact, throw in that guy over there too to get this guy. Jesus Christ. Can you guys not see how good this freaking guy is? Come on.
Okay, let's switch subjects back to the Giants.
Okay, all right. Go back to the Giants. Let's do this. Feel-good story. Sergio Romo.
Yeah, talk to me about this because I'm lukewarm. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. So it's happened a lot in baseball to where, a guy does a lot of good things for the organization and they wanted to give him a little send-off, and to have Sergio come back, go out there, chunk a few pitchers and all that sort of stuff, and let everybody freaking.
What did he do? I didn't even watch, dude. What did he do? He went back.
Yeah, he went out there. He threw 15 pitches, 16 pitches, something like that.
In a spring training game. Then did they pull him?
Yeah, they pulled him. He gave up 2 hits and a run. So big whoopee. All right, but it's a spring training game. Who cares?
Exactly.
All right.
Agreed.
You got a guy that won 3 World Series rings with you. He closed out a World Series game against Miguel Cabrera, at the time the best hitter in all of baseball,
with a fastball down the deck.
I mean, you got to freaking tip your cap to the dude. I mean, he was a mainstay in the bullpen. He was one of the whatever they had the nickname of the freaking bullpen back in the day. He was one of the mainstays, and to go out like that, it was a class move on the Giants' part, and I really appreciated it too. So.
What did Pujols do? Mike Battleborn says Pujols delivered in a send-off. Oh, you're just talking about when he hit the homer?
And he made the freaking playoffs, almost made the series.
Well, Pujols was fucking raking last year.
Dude,
that was last year, right?
He was raking in the freaking month of September, and he didn't he get was it 600 or 700? Didn't he get that last month?
Yeah, he got the 700.
700. I mean, he got so hot, he freaking hit the 700 and check you later. I'm going to the house.
All right.
Yeah,
so
there you go. There you go. Rodolfo said Core 4. That's what they call themselves.
The Romo thing, I'm just gonna remove myself. I don't think I could speak upon it because I think I have some inside information about some whacked out stories like left and right that are just kind of weird. And
well, put it this way: he's a reliever. He's a whack job.
Okay.
I'll give it to
Let's
him.
just leave it. Let's just leave it.
Yeah,
at
we'll
that,
just
right. Like
you don't need any more inside info. You and I can talk about that later on.
exactly. They're like,
but
let's celebrate him as he's going out.
Yeah, but it was a class move by the organization. You
It
know,
was.
so I gotta, you know, and it's a spring training game. It's nothing serious. So
Okay. We have Scott Alexander. I know nothing about him.
Scott Alexander, left-handed reliever. We got him middle to end of last year. He was kind of a matchup guy and did a decent job for us. He's got big league time with 3 or 4 different clubs.
Let's go to Jacob Junis.
Jacob Junis, another sinker baller.
He's got nasty shit, right?
Huh?
Doesn't he have nasty shit?
I like his shit, but they get back to that one up thing. It's like, dude, he's a sinker baller. Quit trying to throw 4-seamers. You throw 4-seamers, he's a regular dude. You throw sinkers, he's a different dude.
What about Camilo Doval? Like, obviously he's had success. The guy's taking the ball in the big moments. Am I missing something here?
No, you're not missing anything. Matter of fact, I'm glad you brought up his name because if you ask me before the season starts who's going to be our National League All-Star, it's going to be Camilo Doval.
Really?
He's got that good of shit, and he's starting to figure out. He's getting a little closer and a little closer. He's starting to figure out how to pitch now.
Well, it's interesting because the competition, other than Doval, I mean, obviously, there's Logan Webb, who would be the easiest choice, but Doval is.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing about Logan. All right, and you guys don't look at it this way. Logan's matched up against everybody's number one, so he's going to get everybody's ace. He has to be on top of his game every freaking start. Otherwise, he's going to be kind of in the middle of the pack. Doval comes in at the end and just closes shit out and can rack up some big numbers.
Let's get to the lineup because I'm a huge fan.
We got some. Let's go.
I'm a huge fan of the 2 guys that they brought in. Mitch Haniger, mini high school, fucking stud, man. When healthy, this guy has the potential to be one of the better players in Major League Baseball. Like, he's that good. I have that much belief in him. Ironically, he's gone from Seattle, which is a shitty hitting park, to San Francisco, which is sort of a shitty hitting park too. He's right-handed, so the ball will fly at AT&T Park. He's a Bay Area guy. And then the other guy that I'm bullish on, who I've loved for an extensive period of time, is Michael Conforto. Oregon State Beaver. Yeah. I love the 2 additions. So let's start there, and I want to hear your thoughts on those.
All right. So I don't know if you guys have been noticing this with all the transactions and stuff like that, but I don't know why, but all of a sudden the Giants are getting enamored with signing Bay Area guys. And, okay, I get it because there is a lot of talent coming from the Bay Area. But, you know, Haniger has a history of injuries here lately. And don't get me wrong. Yes, don't get me wrong. Look. A few years ago, he was en fuego, you know. But here we are. We're going to start the year out. He's going to be on the DL. Conforto, he's come a long way.
Wait, hold on a second. He's fucking out? Yeah, there's an O by his name. What happened?
He's out. See you later. He got hurt about 3 weeks ago, and he ain't found on the field. Him and Slater are going to start on the DL.
Yeah, you're right.
Yep.
They have a bunch of outs. They have Haniger, Slater.
Check this one out. Slater comes out of fall workouts or whatever. First game out there, makes a throw from the outfield. Ooh, I feel something in my elbow. So he sits out 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, whatever it is, comes back. The first game out there, he freaking sprints to first base or something like that and yanks a hamstring. Now he's out again. He's had 2 games played in spring training, and he's going to start the year on the DL.
That's not good. There's
Crystal?
There's not a lot of depth there.
So anyway,
Luis
Haniger, all right, to go back to your original question, when they signed Haniger, I was like, keep my fingers crossed. If he stays healthy, I think he can do it. Okay. Conforto was the guy for me because before Conforto got hurt, I liked Conforto. I liked him when he was with the Mets. I thought he was consistent. He had been
Yeah.
consistent for a few years. And to get him over to our side, I'm like, okay. And he's in the NL. He's an NL guy. He knows the league. So I like that. All right. Next guys.
Okay. I mean, as I look at this, the issue, like kind of what you were talking about, is the depth of these guys.
Correct.
Like it's Luis Gonzalez is hurt too.
Correct. He had back surgery. He gone. He gone.
When do we expect? And I could defer to the chat and like probably Rodolfo or Battleborn Mike for this, but when should we expect Haniger back?
Like end of April.
Okay.
Right, here's another one. Here's another one.
Rodolfo's saying he'll hit
Okay,
26
wait.
Or no,
we're talking about guys hurt, okay? And I'll just throw this one on out there for you, okay? The Giants during the offseason did not sign one, they signed two pitchers that had Tommy John surgery. One of them is Luke Jackson, used to be with the Braves. He's not going to pitch till minimum middle of June. They signed him to a 2-year, $11 million contract. Another guy that they signed had Tommy John surgery, has not pitched yet. And then guess what else? Our number one draft pick in the whole draft last year had Tommy John and is not going to even pitch till middle of the summer this year. So you mean to tell me with the number one pick in the whole entire draft, we can't find somebody in the United States of America who's not hurt? There's my rant number 2 for the night.
Talk to me about Joey Bart. I know you're a big Joey Bart fan, have been for a long time. That kid listens to you. He's clear eyes, full heart, can't lose.
All right, so they matter of fact, Kapler comes out on the website and all that sort of shit and says, you know, Joey Bart is not guaranteed a position on our team.
Oh,
He's
shut
got
the fuck
big
up.
league time, but he has to earn it. And nah. And immediately I picked up the phone and I called him, and he and I had a big heart to heart. And he's just like, fuck it, I'm gonna make them eat their words.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
then at the same time, they legitimately turn around, and the next day on the same website right here, they come out and they say, David VR is our third baseman. We're giving him the job. He hit 210 last year with a boatload of strikeouts. So wait a second.
You
So
stupid motherfuckers. Yeah, exactly,
yeah,
dude.
so you're
Bullshit.
not going to give the job to Joey Bart, who hit 285 the second half of last year and actually got his average up pretty decent. But you are going to throw all your eggs in the basket for somebody that hit 210. And on top of that, you got a kid by the name of Casey Schmidt. And I told you about him last year. I told you he was in Double A last year. I told you he is a Gold Glover right now. Casey Schmidt, for the majority, him and Blake Sable, for the majority of spring training, were hitting in the 400s and making it look really easy and putting a lot of pressure on a lot of people.
Dude,
and
your
so
boy
Casey Schmidt will be a big leaguer.
Your boy David VR in 35 at bats is hitting 143 with 1 homer this spring.
Thank you. In the one homer he hit, I think 3 nights ago, whatever, and he freaking pimped it. I'm like, what are you pimping a homer in spring training for? Run, you little bastard. You're hitting $143.
So I could tell you why they like him. Is they're looking at his OPS at 786 from the 2022 regular season. He had 9 bombs on 156 at bats.
Well, I can tell you one thing. The guy playing behind him, Casey Schmidt, can pick it so much better than he can. That's first off. And second off, Casey Schmidt's starting to find his freaking gear as far as the hitter goes. All right. Here's another one. And this one absolutely blows my mind. We went and we traded Darren Ruff last year for Mr. Davis from the Mets.
Yeah, what's going on with Davis? I'm looking at him right now.
I don't know. They got him in a backup role. I want to see
Why?
him play every day
Yeah,
because that son
fuck
of a gun's
yeah.
got some pop, dude. He's got some pop and he can hit.
So 2023 spring training, 45 at bats, 311 with the bomb, 6 RBIs, 821 OPS. Regular season 2022, like why do they have him in a backup role? We want to see this guy play.
I want to see him play. Dude, I'm telling you right now. You put him in the lineup, I swear to God, you put him in the lineup every day, that's a minimum 20 homers right there. I promise you. I promise you that.
I have a
And
question
to
for
have
you.
him in a backup role, that's a no on my part.
Why the fuck is Lamont Wade Jr. listed as a starting first baseman for the San Francisco Giants?
Because
am I missing something?
well, they're stressing defense now. All of a
Bro,
sudden.
he hit fucking 207 last year.
I know he did. Believe me, I know he did. And he's hitting a whole 256 this spring training.
Why? This doesn't make any sense to me. It really doesn't.
Hey, I'm just letting you know. These decisions, I don't know where they're coming from. And I'm not into the numbers like all the rest of the stat crazies are. But I can tell you who can play and who can't play. And I can tell you if Mr. Davis can play, he needs to find a spot in the lineup.
Where are you at on Jock Peterson?
So for me, I mean, I like Jock. I mean, you know, he is also kind of the carefree, free spirit that we need in the clubhouse. You got to have that guy.
Yeah.
But I'm looking through the whole lineup, and I'm just telling you. I mean, we're throwing out names here. There is nobody on the position player side that is that just take the bull by the horns. I'm a leader, dude. They got some guys on the pitching staff that do that, but not on the position player side. And you need somebody on the position player side. And not only that, you need somebody on a position player side that goes out there and freaking throws up some numbers. And I'm looking right now and I don't see it.
Dude, so let's look at this for a second because you got Joey Bart. Fuck everybody. Like Joey Bart's gonna be your dude. Should be. First base, you have Lamont Wade Jr., Wilmer Flores, and JD Davis. Like, I can't tell you, like, on any given night, I would go with JD Davis before I go with the other two. Then you got second base, you got Thairo Estrada, Brett Wisely, and Ford Proctor. I mean, that's who they have listed here. Estrada's fine. I'm going to take a look at his numbers right now. 282 in spring, 260 last year, 14. Yeah, okay. I mean, I'll take that out of my second baseman for sure. Right?
Proctor?
No, out of Estrada.
Estrada's a good player. Estrada's going to play every day.
And then you got David VR.
Right.
JD Davis and Wilmer Flores at third.
Right.
Is VR is obviously he's the best third baseman defensively, at least of those three.
Yeah, but the thing is, and that's what I'm trying to tell you, they gave Casey Schmidt a chance to play, and that son of a bitch hit 400 the whole spring and put
really?
VR to Shane. He's got 4 homers and like 8 or 9 RBIs. He was hitting 400. Now he's hitting 333, but he can play VR under the desk as far as defense goes. Casey Schmidt is a Gold Glover right now. That's how good he is.
Brandon Crawford just 22 at bats this spring. Is he not healthy?
I don't know what's going on there. I know one thing with the Correa debacle.
Oh yeah, fuck.
I know they didn't tell Brandon anything about it, and then all of a sudden all that sort of shit started hitting the fan, and then it caved in on them, and now they had to put their tail between their legs and go crawling back to Brandon. I know that kind of pissed him off.
Yeah, well, this spring it doesn't look good, and then he's coming off a 231, 9 and 52 slash line. Actually, the more I look at this, to be honest with you guys, I think the Giants might be shitty this year. I'm serious. I'm trying to find optimism. I think the offense is not good. Like, you need a Mitch Haniger to fucking produce. You need a Jock Peterson to produce, which I think is very possible. You need Austin Slater healthy. You need Haniger healthy. You need Conforto to do Conforto. Luis Gonzalez at some points is showing promise, right?
Hey, look, I'm just telling you. I'm telling you right now. I mean, when you got some decent hitters in there and you have some thump, I mean, there's some concern on the part of the other pitcher that, hey, look, if I make a mistake, we're going to be behind here pretty quick. And so that's where I go back to JD Davis. It's like, who's evaluating this guy? Because this guy is much better than what he's being evaluated as. I like this guy a lot. And that's coming from a guy that can fucking hit. All right. The guys who are making the evaluations could not fucking hit. I can hit. I know who can hit. Exactly. He can hit.
What about Steven Piscotty? He 320 this spring.
Yeah, and they sent him down.
Yes.
Yeah, they sent him down.
Oh, fuck.
So now he's in AAA.
Yeah, for who? Like, who did they keep that they had to send him down?
I don't know. So let's see who they sent down. They sent down Bryce Johnson. They sent down Matos. Here's a name that you're going to hear a little bit of because he can do it all. Is Brett Auerbach? He's a catcher / outfielder / infielder. Came out of University of Alabama. He hit 350 this spring and had all kinds of big base hits for us. He got sent back down, so he's going to AAA. Ishmael Munguia, he was one of our better players in A-ball, and he was hurt the majority of last year. He'll be going down in the minor leagues. He'll probably be in AAA. I'll see him pretty soon. Will Wilson is a shortstop / second baseman. He was a first-round draft choice, and we got him from the Angels. He had a pretty decent year this spring. He hit 310. He's in AAA. Tyler Fitzgerald is a big, tall second baseman from University of Louisville. He's got it going on. He's got a bright future. He just needs to put it together every day. And then we got this other guy. Let me pull up where he came from. His name's Mike Gigliotti, and he's a left-handed outfielder. He was in AA last year and had a real good year. So let's see, Bowling Green. So we got him from the Rays, and he had a good year last year, and he had a pretty decent spring this year. Matter of fact, not a pretty decent spring. He hit 439.
In how many at bats?
They gave him chump time, but still, when you get chump time coming in and doing a good job, I mean, that's big time.
Yeah. Yoshida, by the way, hit his first homer for the Red Sox.
That ain't going to be his last. I can tell you that. That fucker can hit.
Yeah, dude, I'm excited for this season. I mean, on so many different fronts because you have the rule changes, the whole concept and idea of I think the NL West is going to be a fucking bitch, man. I think it's going to be a really difficult division because you have the Padres and the Dodgers that are obviously going to do what they do. I think the Diamondbacks are better. I think the Giants, look, their win total is sitting around 500. The Rockies, I don't know. I don't know enough about them. I can't assume that they've done anything that's going to make them great, at this point. But did you ever take anything into account? Like, St. Louis is 17-7 in spring training. Does anybody give a fuck?
You know what? I always wanted to win in spring training
So did
because I
I.
thought winning breeds winning.
Yep.
And you wanted to get those W's under your belt in spring training and transition them into the regular season. So I look, there's a lot of times where I'm only in there for 3 or 4 innings. But while I'm in there, those 3 or 4 innings, we're chatting it up on the bench and we're getting after it. And these guys are coming up from the minor leagues are getting a taste of what a big leaguer is about and what we talk about on the bench and what kind of pitches we look for and shit like that, right? And I'm not seeing that in today's game. That's first off. Second off, while I'm thinking about this, and some of the guys brought this up in the chat, and thank y'all for doing it, is Yastrzemski. All right. He was a big part of our offense in that 107 win season. And then all of a sudden he melted last year and he's had a bad spring training. I know one thing. He better get his head out of his ass. I can tell you one thing. I've already told the hitting instructor about 6 different things that he's doing wrong right now. And if he don't fix it, he's not going to be a big leaguer too much longer.
Who was it last year that we were talking about? And then I was looking at it today. It was the posture pose, or the posture post. I call it. Like, we talking about posture, and whoever it was like this. And you told that motherfucker, you're like, dude, get your head up, right? Like he kept swinging from down here, and then all of a sudden, I almost want to say it was Lamont Wade Jr. or somebody else. I don't remember, but. And then like the adjustment was made and we could visibly see the adjustment and then the guy went deep.
Yeah, that one. Okay. And Lamont Wade Jr. was that guy that freaking ducked and dropped the back.
He ducked and dropped the shit, right?
Remember all that sort of shit,
yeah.
Right? Yastrzemski was doing the exact same thing last year, right? And so the hitting instructor this year has sent me a few videos of Yastrzemski. He's kind of corrected it. But the thing that he's doing now is he's getting beat. He's catching the ball way back behind instead of catching the ball out in front so he can get extended. And so he's got a little funk going on up in the old cabeza right now. He needs to get it rolling.
Party's out front, dude. Always has been, always will be.
Yep.
You gotta clip.
I'm just telling you right now. I mean, if I'm hunting the fastball, I mean, no shit. I mean, for all of you guys out there, you ladies, you gentlemen, look, when you hunting a fastball and you got your ears pinned back, there ain't no way that you can throw it from me to you. You are not beating me to the punch. I am going to catch that bitch out in front and we getting some loft on that thing. And that's what I'm seeing now with these guys right here. They got a lot of guys that are throwing good fastballs, but they're consistently late. And so when I talk to them, they're like, well, they're throwing their breaking balls, 70% of the time for strikes. Okay, well then here's the common sense version, dumbass. If they're throwing their breaking balls 70% of the time, why are you late on the fastball? Don't look for the fastball, look for the breaking ball and catch that fucker out in front.
You loved looking for the breaking ball, didn't you?
Oh. Hanging breaking balls and hanging changeups go a very long way. They go just as far as fastballs.
Dude, so I don't know who it was that hit a 500-foot homer a couple years ago. It was like 510 feet or whatever. It was Judge or Stanton, like one of the two. And it was on a hanging slider.
Yeah.
And so now it's interesting because, I mean, we can have this conversation throughout the course of the season, but if the percentage of off-speed pitches has supplanted the fastball, doesn't that mean that, man, like in certain counts, in certain situations, I'm looking off speed?
But that's what you and I talked about. You and I have had this discussion till we're blue in the face. All right. I mean, if you look at Major League Baseball right now, I mean, seriously look at it. And I mean, chart pitches and shit like that. You're looking at probably 60 to 65% breaking balls for strikes and 40 to 35% fastballs for strikes. So basically, what they're doing is they're showing you these high fastballs and they're trying to sneak the breaking stuff in underneath.
for the strike. They're trying
Correct.
to get that for the strike.
Correct.
And hitters need to hit fucking strikes. That's all we
Exactly.
care about, right?
And so here's all right. So here's another scouting report. All right. So Randy Johnson. Okay, I'm scuffling along with Randy Johnson. One day, you know, Tony Gwynn gets on first base and we start talking. And I said, "How you do against Randy?" He goes, "I actually hit him pretty good." And I go, "What do you do?" He goes, "I look slider." And I go, "Why?" He goes, "Every time he needs to throw a strike, he throws a slider." He said, "So should I look for something 98 that's bearing in on me, or should I look for something 88 that's flattening out over the plate?"
It's
And I
brilliant.
was like, "Oh my God." So guess what? Started looking slider off of Randy Johnson. All of a sudden, started getting a few hits. It's like, aha, it works. You know, same thing. Believe it or not, with Rob Dibble. Rob Dibble throw 100, 102 miles an hour, right? When he needed to throw a strike, he threw a freaking 90-mile-an-hour slider. All right, I can hit that 90-mile-an-hour slider. I'll let that 102 go.
That's fucking genius.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it is. You study the opposition as to what they throw a strike when they need to throw a strike. Like as in the nut cutting time. When it is balls against the wall, what's he gonna do to throw a strike? And that's the pitch that I sit on.
Thrill, we didn't even get to a quarter of the stuff that I wanted to talk about tonight, but who gives a shit? We were breaking bread and getting back into the swing of things. Thursday is opening day. At some point, yeah, let's fucking do it. Let's nail it this Thursday, 6:00. There's games that had happened earlier. We'll talk about the Giants game, the Yankees game. We'll talk. The A's are coming on at 7:00. There's gonna be games going on when we're on. I'll have them back here. So Thursday, 6:00. You good with that?
Hey, I'm good with it. And look, everybody in the chat room, you guys that are regulars, bring all your buddies. Yeah. Bring them all on in. Let's go. Let's get this shit off and rolling this year. Let's go.
You know why? Because we got 818 fucking tequila, man.
That's right. And when you soar, pour some more.
Ah!
There you go.
Dude.
Go enjoy Miss Tara's Smell-O-Vision tacos.
You have no idea. I literally, like, I'm sitting here, like, there's like drool coming off the side of my mouth. They smell so fucking good.
Oh, and by the way, for everybody in the audience, see ya!
See ya! Thursday, 6:00.
Boom.